The number one way to get me super excited about an electronic drum kit is by naming it after a core American gladiator. So today we're talking about the Alesis Nitro Pro. I love this electronic drum kit. Number one reason why I like it is because of the rack. The rack is made of metal and it is actually tall enough for somebody who's over 4 feet tall. My number one gripe with most E-kits is I feel like I have to hunch down and play them like this because they're so small, because the racks are so small. So this actually has a professional rack that you assemble the whole thing with, but there's so much more to it, so I'm just gonna run you through some of the features, all right? Now, if you've ever heard of BFD drum samples, this is another really great selling point for this as far as like, you know, a beginner, intermediate, professional kit, however you see this. But this has some of the best professional drum samples that are built into the module. Another thing that I don't like about a lot of the budget kits is the stock sounds don't sound great. But because Alesis and BFD have a partnership, you have the best samples built into the actual module of the brain here. So I'm just going to go through a few of them and just kind of play them just so you can kind of hear what they sound like. But let's start with the first kit. Maybe like another one. All these are chokeable cymbals too, which is great, even though they're just rubber pads. Another really amazing thing about this is the snare. Some of the cheaper kits, like the toms and the snare, will be the exact same kind of pad. This is actually a lot deeper, so it feels like an actual snare, right? Even with, and the big difference with that is a lot of the kits have like dual zone heads. What I mean by that is like when I hit the center of the snare, it sounds one way, and then when I hit the rim, it sounds another way. But the nice thing about the depths of this snare is it feels like doing like a rim shot feels more natural. See, so like I feel like I'm actually hitting a rim shot when I'm trying to, as compared to hitting a second zone, if that makes sense. So again, the price is really right on this. There's a couple different lines in the Alesis line up, right? Where you can kind of do like absolute beginner, kind of like a middle one, and then a super high-end pro kit. This, I think, is probably like the best dollar for dollar version of it, just because of everything that you get with it. It has a lot of the pro features like the snare and the rack. So good, so good. Plays great. It comes with 3 toms, right? I hit the dual zone on that. It comes with a hi-hat controller, kick pedal, kick drum, and then a crash and a ride. You can add an extra one to the kit on the brain module here. But again, that's pretty much everything you need, except for a throne or a stool. It doesn't come with one of those, so make sure you have one of those if you end up getting this kit. I'll have an affiliate link in the description, so check that out. Let's talk a little bit about the head here, the Nitro Pro drum module. Now, one thing that is really cool, actually, is just the way that it's set up. Let me actually get my phone here so you can kind of get a different view of it. But a lot of what this is interesting because, you know, if you're just starting out and you're getting an E-kit, you probably want to practice, right? This comes with a trial version for 3 months for the service Drumeo, which is basically like all the drum lessons that you'll ever need. And the cool thing is you can put your tablet or your phone right here because it has an actual kind of like stand for either like a smartphone or a tablet. So super cool with that. Another thing is the practice session is really nice. You can just hit the click right here and you get a visual of the click. And then it has kind of like a heads-up display here. Not quite my tempo, rushing a little bit. Anyway, so the module is really cool. I want to do another thing where you can actually take a song here, right? So let's go to, so if I just press this button right here, it'll go to what number song I'm on, right? So I can do that, and then I can start and stop the actual playing of it right here. So then once I find number 1, and then I go here, I can start and stop it. And then it'll give me a groove that I can try to play along with, right? So I can listen to that, all right. So it's like, okay, I can do that. The nice thing is, too, is you can change the tempo of that, which I think is really good for dissecting how drum grooves are made, right? So let's say I like the sound of that, so I can play it, and then I'll hit tempo, and then I'll bring it all the way down. So now it's like when you can slow down something that is kind of like professionally recorded, you can kind of get a feel for what... Okay, so it's like... It gives you kind of like an idea of just how drum grooves are made. So I think that's really cool, and there's like a ton of different ones that you could go through. And potentially the best way to practice this is with the Bluetooth feature right here. So you can make this a receiver for any Bluetooth device. I'm just going to stream one of my own tracks from my phone, and then you can practice along to whatever you want to do really easily. Now, I have this going out the left and right outputs into my interface, but you can easily do this with just a headphone jack. So for instance, if I wanted to play like one of my songs, right? Let's just pick, let's pick this one right here. So again, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this, but what I want to do is I want to just maybe use it to make some music. So, gosh, it just sounds so good. It's so much better than the stock sounds in any of the other kits that I've tried so far. So shout out to Alesis and BFD for just like the best stock sounding drum kit. And again, the response is just really good. It's the best feeling snare dynamic that I've seen in a lot of the mesh head kits and stuff, right? So yeah, let's make a little bit of music up with it and let me know what you think. there you have it. Thank you to Alesis for sending the kit over, sponsoring the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section, Instagram, or the website. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks.